Welcome to the Spooktoberiest episode of Platinum Hunters you have seen yet. What's that you say? What's so scary about Batman? Well, on this night in Gotham City, where the Scarecrow is plotting to take over the city with fear toxin, it is indeed the scariest day of the year, All Hallows Eve. Yes, Batman Arkham Knight takes place on Halloween, and when you really sit down and think about everything that the Batman goes through on this fateful night, I can think of nothing scarier. So while we cross off another game in the PS Plus Collection Challenge, we can also get a Platinum Trophy for a game that actually takes place on Halloween. Maybe it's not the scariest game we could have picked for the occasion, but plenty of people are going to be scared off by the game's Platinum run. This hellish plat has all the familiar hallmarks that make up a tough trophy run. So can you rise to the occasion like the Batman? Well, come and take a trip with me to Gotham and find out. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. Don't forget to check out some of the other PS Plus collection games we've covered, because they're free games if you have a PS5, and most of them are great plats. Check out the ones we've done in the playlist in the card above. And of course, subscribe for more videos just like this, because you might just find your next Platinum Trophy. Holy smokes, 65 trophies including the Platinum. This is our biggest list yet, trumping even Uncharted 4 and even Nexomon. This game is just handing out trophies like it's Halloween candy. Bronze candies mostly like it's the crap stuff like Tootsie Rolls and Black Licorice, but still. The Platinum run for Arkham Knight will have you doing 2 playthroughs. The first run will be on normal difficulty, where you have to get 100% game completion and initiate what is known as Knightfall Protocol. I'll explain more about that in the guide, as it's sort of a spoiler, but it's good to have it top of mind. The second playthrough will be on New Game Plus on the game's hardest difficulty, Knightmare. In between those 2 playthroughs, you'll have to complete the Arkham game's signature AR challenges and work towards collecting 69 stars. Nice. There are a bunch of other miscellaneous trophies as well in this daunting sized list, and we'll cover each of them and prepare you for this fateful event. As always, there are more helpful guides and videos in the usual place down below. But let's don the cowl and get ready for another death-defying night of crime. What is it? The 4th one? The Arkham stories always seem to happen over the course of one night. I think Batman feels like he's getting too old for this shit. The first thing you need to do is play through the City of Fear main storyline and collect its whopping 21 trophies that make up the main campaign. That is a nice slice of the trophies carved out of the list. Not going to pop them on screen to avoid spoilers, and trust me, you don't want the game spoiled. But there were moments in this game where my PS5 said, nope, you ain't recording this part, son. And some of them were absolute batshit revelations. The twists and turns this Arkham game throws at you is absolutely madness, in the very best kind of regards. I really enjoyed this game's story and wouldn't dare spoil it for you. If you're looking to speedrun and streamline this Platinum run, clearing the story is the best thing that you can do. You will open up the Gotham map, unlock all the side activities you will need to do, and collect a good amount of Batman's arsenal of gadgets. However, if you find yourself struggling through the hand-to-hand or car combat, you might want to do some of the side activities early as they pop up in your mission select, because completing them will give you a generous amount of points to spend on upgrading your Bat gear. You will unlock new moves, upgrade the gadgets on your utility belt, upgrade your Batmobile, and more. This will help you even out the difficulty a bit if you're having trouble. Once you complete the story, that will be only one pillar of the overarching goal. you will need 100% completion on the mission select ring to activate the Knightfall Protocol and get the trophy Knightfall. It's highly recommended you work towards this on your first playthrough so you don't need to do all the side missions on the harder Knightmare difficulty. There are another set of 25 trophies to collect for just doing all the side missions, so that's another big chunk of the trophies to collect. I'm not going to show you them either for the same reasons, but if you're completing the mission select ring 100%, you'll be collecting all the trophies anyways. 11 of those said trophies are dedicated to everyone's favorite green villain himself, Mr. Enigma, aka the Riddler. There are 10 trophies for his 10 trials that he forces you to do, and then a final trophy for putting an end to his games once and for all. And to get this final trophy called Riddle Me That, you will need to collect all 243 of his riddles scattered around Gotham City. 243 of these riddles. You know, Batman doesn't kill people. That's the rule that he's set for himself. But I'm pretty sure the Riddler has made him contemplate it. This is the most time-consuming part of the Platinum run, and I absolutely hated having to do this. Credit where credit is due though, at least they're not like every other collectible in every other game that's just a static thing placed everywhere around the map. Most of them are puzzles that make you utilize your array of bat tech to solve them, but these got old really fast after a while due to the sheer amount of them. The 243 riddles are separated into 4 categories: Riddler Trophies, Riddles, Breakable Objects, and Riot Bombers. The Riddler Trophies are the most common one you'll find, and they will be accompanied by a gadget puzzle that you will need to solve. This is where spending your upgrade points on your gadgets is necessary because some of these riddles will require certain upgrades for certain gadgets. So really the best thing you can do is wait until you've completed the story before finding them all, because you will have your full array of gadgets at your disposal -1. The Freeze Bomb is an optional gadget that is found right at the beginning of Panessa Studios, so go there and grab it if you haven't. Other Riddler trophies will require assistance from your Batmobile to power wench objects or straight up blast open breakable walls with Riddler trophies inside. The riddles are much simpler to find if you know where to look. You will be presented with a riddle and a location where the riddle could be found. Then you'll need to scan the right object that will solve the riddle. Technically, you don't need a guide to collect all of these collectibles, as you can interrogate enemies that are glowing green for the location of some of these secret spots. However, I just found it way easier to just go right to the spot, whether you have it marked on the map or not, and just scan the thing that will solve the riddle. You don't even need to wait till it's marked on the map either, which is a more time-efficient way to get these riddles. The breakable objects are where this whole collectibles process just gets masturbatory. These are just robots and other items that Batman has to break either with the Batmobile or his gadgets. This isn't even clever, Riddler, come on. Then lastly, there's 6 bomb rioters, where Riddler has planted a bomb inside of the heads of 6 thugs that you'll need to neutralize using electricity. There's only 6 of these, so whatever, but they do feel like they're just being tacked on for whatever reason. Add them to the pile. Note that not every collectible is found in the 3 islands of Gotham City. Many of them are inside buildings or underground in Panessa Studios, Stag's airships, and the Arkham Knight's HQ. Thankfully, none of them are missable, and you can go back to the places you visited before and collect them all. There will be a guide provided below with videos to help you solve and find all of them. This is going to take a considerable amount of time to complete, so get ready for a real grind. The other side storylines that make up the remaining 14 trophies will all branch out from the main narrative as you go, and feature a bunch of Batman's rogue galleries, some you've squared off against before and some brand new. I'm sorry if I'm not really going into a huge amount of details here either, but again, I really don't want to spoil any of these high profile moments. None of these side missions are missable, and you can access them from the mission select as you adventure into the night. The intel sign will pop up, and that's how you know the next part of the side mission is available. Most activities will have you weakening the militia presence in the area, including foot soldiers, camps, patrols, tanks, drones, guard towers, and even mines that you'll need to defuse. Next to the Riddle Trophies, this is the other time-consuming part of the run. All of these side activities combined will add up to 100% completion that you need for the Knightfall Protocol to get the true ending for the game and pop the Knightfall Trophy. And after that, it's time to do it all again. Well, not entirely, as you only need to critical path the story for this next trophy. So we're putting Scarecrow back in the slammer again as we unlock the Long Halloween Trophy for beating the City of Fear storyline again on New Game Plus. This will bump the difficulty up to Nightmare mode automatically, where enemies are much stronger and you no longer get prompts for things like counters, unblockable attacks, and weapon attacks. It's just you and your senses this time, as enemies are going to pummel you if you're not aware of your surroundings. Thankfully, this is a New Game Plus mode, so all your upgrades to your kit are coming with you, and you get the chance to collect the upgrades you're missing. It's a pretty tough hard mode to fight through, but I don't think it's the hardest we have seen here on Platinum Hunters. The Dark Knight and you can definitely handle it, and it's just the story missions that you have to worry about. It's also a good time to pick up any missing miscellaneous trophies you have missed, like the ones we're going to talk about next. Let's start with the thing the Arkham games are most known for, and lots of other games copied, even Spider-Man. That's the free flow combat, which is something that I just could not get the hang of no matter how hard I tried. Brutality 101 is the trophy that will test your knowledge of 15 different moves you can do in one single free flow. And for the trophy, you will need to do it in one free flow. Not many, one. Some of the moves are as simple as you pressing the X button to vault over enemies or triangle to counter. Other ones are quick gadget commands like the quick batarang and the quick freeze blast. There is a full list of all of Batman's moves options in a guide below. My recommendation is to pick a free flow AR challenge and then cycle through the whole list till the trophy pops. As well, grind out the Cycle of Violence trophy by using 100 quick gadgets in free flow combat. I mentioned a few already, but there's the Batclaw, Explosive Gel, and the Wreck as well. Just use any combination of them till you reach 100 uses. Fear takedowns are a really great way to clear the room of enemies. They are easy to use and easy to recharge. So when you're in situations where you can use Predator takedowns, prioritize using Fear takedowns to get the Death and Glory trophy. You only need 20 Fear takedowns, so it's super easy to get this pretty naturally, but might as well get it out of the way. Plus, it's one of the 15 types of Predator takedowns you need to pull off for the Blunt Trauma trophy. I never realized Batman has so many ways to stealthily beat the shit out of thugs. There are 15 of these, whether it's taking them down from below in the grates or from above with a hanging inverted takedown. You need to explore and use each type at least once, and the guide I mentioned also shows how you can pull off each one. These next two trophies are a bit tricky, but with trial and error I figured them out. Now you guys don't have to suffer, and you got some info on how to get these things. The first trophy is Gotham After Midnight, and it's for gliding 400 meters across the ground, but no more than 20 meters off of it. So you will need to maintain a glide pretty close to the ground. Pulling this off is definitely going to require some speed to prevent the bat from touching the pavement, so it's best to do a dive bomb and pull up before you touch the ground. Using the momentum, you should glide nicely across the road, and it'll be even easier if you're on a downhill, as that will be more helpful. It'll take you a few tries to get the hang of it, but you'll get it if you follow my directions. Even more troublesome than that was the Run Through the Jungle trophy, where you will need to glide under each of the 3 main bridges connecting each island in Gotham City in one glide. That means you cannot touch the ground in any form or use your zipline to relaunch yourself. It has to be one glide and one glide only. Man, to do this, you really need some serious momentum to keep you in flight for that long. You will either need to vault off of a building with max speed or eject yourself out of the Batmobile at max speed. Both require you to upgrade the grapple hook or the Batmobile to be able to do this, and they are pivotal for getting this trophy. It's a long glide, so you need a strong start. You can build more momentum by dive bombing while you're mid-flight to keep you from falling back down to the ground and give yourself a pick-me-up. I think the trickiest part of this whole ordeal is maneuvering under and over the bridges, because you have to fly pretty low and hope not to crash into the bridges. It's a tough trophy, no doubt, but once you attempt it a couple times, you will get the hang of it, but you will need those upgrades to keep your momentum flowing. The trophy will come soon after that. Before we get into the trophies where you need the Batmobile to get them, let's take a look at this last trophy where you have to get it without it. The real deal is a trophy awarded to you for taking down 20 cars without roughing them up with the Batmobile. How do you do that? Well, there's two ways. You can either glide down close to the car, hit square, and watch Batman do his thing on the hood of the car. The fiery justice is quite the scene. The other way is you can hit the counter button when the thugs try to run you down, and Batman will take them out that way. Use both techniques to get a total of 20 takedowns for the trophy. Now you can get in the Batmobile and grab some trophies. I know people talk about this thing pretty negatively online, with some truth to it, but the vehicle itself is pretty badass and versatile. The first trophy is called Dirty Tricks, and you will have to accumulate 3 minutes of drifting using the Batmobile. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be a 3-minute drift, although theoretically you can do it by just going to a big intersection, holding the handbrake and cranking the gas to do a donut. Then you're going to have to get airborne for the trophy, A Leap of Faith. You will need to soar across at least 8 different ramps, a total of 100 meters or more, and these ramps are scattered around the city. Don't forget to boost before you hit the jump, so you're going as fast as possible over the ramp. There are many ramps all over, so you will find 8 very easily. You are not going to be the only vehicle patrolling the streets, and sometimes you'll come across some militia trucks. Seize the moment to get the Savage Medal trophy, in which you'll have to sideswipe 10 of these transport trucks off the road instead of blowing them up with your immobilizer missiles. Get close and hit X in their direction to bash them off the road. You can also boost into them to rough them up. Don't worry about the paint, the Batmobile is pretty indestructible. Take out 10 of these this way for the trophy. That's gonna piss them off. So when the opposition starts sending in the heavies, the Batmobile can turn into a tank and absolutely slap the metal asses of everything around it. So when you face off against wave of light tanks, use your artillery to get the Seduction of the Gun trophy. You will need to land 50 critical shots on these smaller light tanks by aiming at the purple light on their cannons. The hitbox for this critical spot is so small, so I found it easier to just use the machine gun to spray bullets at it rather than trying to accurately shoot it with the cannon. And this brings us to this pain in the ass trophy called Point of Impact, where you need to land 5 of these critical shots in a row without getting hit. I don't understand why this was such a nuisance of a trophy, but I was able to get it thankfully. I started by trying to get this trophy in the AR challenge called One Man Army, where lots of light tanks will move on your position. It ended up being a fruitless effort. The place I ended up getting this trophy was the AR challenge Untouchable, where taking a hit ends the challenge anyways. The tanks don't move at all from their position, so you can just zoom in and aim for the purple light. It was much simpler to do it this way when I switched over to that challenge and I got the trophy. Lastly, you'll need to use the full array of the Bat Tank's weapons for the trophy Choice of Weapons. On top of the cannon and the machine gun, you'll also have some special moves, including a multi-rocket barrage, an EMP, and you can even hack enemy militia. The trophy will require you to use all 5 of these weapons in a single battle, so the One Man Army AR challenge or another big tank battle is the right conditions to pull this off. As soon as you get 1 bar for your special, use it right away so you can charge up the next special. We have one more section to cover in this Platinum Trophy run, and it's going to put all your skills as the Dark Knight to the test. But hit the like button to let me know you have made it this far into the video. Yes, drop all them likes in the Halloween bag like candy. of the YouTube algorithm who also doesn't share any of it. Now you are upgraded and ready to take on the AR challenges. These are the trophies on screen now, and your ultimate goal is to hit that third trophy called Absolution when you collect 69 stars. The AR challenges have been in every Arkham game in some form, and it doesn't stop here, although they do change in nature a little bit with the inclusion of the Batmobile. Once upon a time, the game had 23 challenges, excluding the tutorial challenges, and that was exactly enough stars to get you to 69 if you 3-star every single challenge. This must have been really tough for some of these challenges, especially the free flow challenges. But now, with the community challenges and the Scarecrow challenges being added as DLC, the total number of challenges has risen to 33. And that means there are a total of 99 stars up for grabs. If you weren't playing this game at launch, you're pretty damn lucky to be playing it now. What would have been a Herculean task has become less Herculean. This part of the platinum run is still going to be tough, but now you essentially need 2 stars on every challenge, as that will equal 66 stars, and then you just need to squeak out 3 more stars from somewhere in these list of challenges. On screen now are the challenge categories. For most of the combat challenges, I just avoided them and found them pretty difficult. The downloadable community challenges especially were difficult to get even 1 star on. I could keep a perfect free flow going while the basic enemies were on screen, but once the enemies with knives or electric enemies appeared, or medics or big enemies, it became very difficult to keep a combo. I pretty much 1-starred or ignored these challenges except for the challenge where you fight as Azrael and the Gotham Knights challenge, not that one, with Batman and Nightwing teaming up. Somehow I was able to get 3 stars for both of those pretty easily. The Predator challenges were manageable in most cases. These challenges have specific criteria for each star you need to collect, like for example, taking down a medic last or using explosive gelled walls to take out 3 enemies. The tricky thing with these are that if you want 3 stars on these challenges, you actually need to do all 3 criteria in one go. You can't just focus on each star separately, as the last attempt will overwrite the one before it. So if you want 2 stars, you need to perform at least 2 of these criteria. In most cases it can be done with ease, but some of the challenges are going to be pretty difficult to collect all 3 stars. So with this rocky start, suffice to say I leaned heavily on the Batmobile type challenges. The bulk of my stars came from the Batmobile races, Batmobile combat, and hybrid challenges to help me make up most of what I need for this 69 stars. In most cases, I was able to bust out some 3-star victories, even on some of these races where the Riddler is really getting on my nerves. Getting even 2 stars in most of these challenges is not that difficult, aside from 1 or 2 challenges where I could only muster up 1 star. But I got a lot of stars from here. Then the free Scarecrow challenge DLC was a saving grace. They're labeled as difficult content, but when I did all 3, I beat them all on the first try. The machine gun absolutely wrecked Scarecrow, and this was an easy 9 stars to bank. A couple other things that I think you should note before we close out this exhausting Halloween night is that you can switch characters or the type of Batmobile you play as for each challenge and collect more stars. However, you won't be adding to your overall total when you do that, as only the default is going to add up to your overall star total. So make sure the character you pick is not highlighted in yellow. The other thing to note is that you have to unlock these challenges before you can play them. The criteria to unlock these could be as simple as completing a certain side quest, or could be as complicated as using a string of gadgets for an enemy takedown. Many of these challenges were unlocked for me just by going for the Knightfall Protocol, so then you just need to unlock the missing ones after that. I hope all this information helps you collect 69 stars, as I know it's not going to be an easy time for a lot of people. It wasn't an easy time for me, But thankfully we're not playing this game at launch where you literally needed all 3 stars for every challenge, so this information will help you pick up and choose the challenges that will bring you the most success. And with those trophies collected, you have now survived the Halloween of horror with all of the trophies safely secured in your loot bag. Now there's only one more left to collect. So if you put a stop to Scarecrow's fear toxin from ruining the city twice, put all of Batman's rogue gallery in the slammer, thwarted the Riddler again by solving all his riddles, beaten enough AR challenges with your power and cunning, and collected all the trophies? Congratulations! You will be awarded the I Am the Batman Platinum Trophy for Batman Arkham Knight. Holy hell! I have never seen so many trophy sets before. Batman Arkham Knight has a total of 16 DLC and add-on trophy sets. I don't think that's the biggest, but damn is that a crap ton. Some of these only have 1 trophy in them, so what's the point of that? Some of them are story related like the Season of Infamy and A Matter of Family DLCs, while others are smaller stories like the GCPD lockup with Penguin and a flip of a coin with Two-Face. There are character-specific story packs with Catwoman, Red Hood, and Harley Quinn. There are challenge trophy sets like the Scarecrow one, and even trophy sets for different iterations of the Batmobile. This increases the trophy count from 65, including the plat, to 110 trophies. I'll never say never when it comes to completing these or putting it here on Platinum Hunters as a New Game Plus episode, but I think I've had my fill for now. Some of this is really cool, but you really have to be gunning and willing to go for 100% trophy completion to bite into all of these pieces of content. Overall, I know this game gets a bad rep from people, but sitting here with my plat in hand and thinking about the whole platinum run, I had a good time. I know it has a lot to do, and a lot of it feels like busy work for little reward, like the Riddler Trophies for example. But the story is highly entertaining, it looks incredible even for an early PS4 era game, combat is great once you learn it, and even the Batmobile was not as bad as people portrayed it. Even the AR challenges were not an entirely painful experience, especially now with the DLC. I get that it's a very busy work kind of open world game, but if I put all the open world games I've played recently in a pile and choose one to play, it would probably be this one. Maybe the other Arkham games will end up being a better experience, and we will cover those games one day. But I think this game is worth the effort for the platinum so long as you're not burnt out of the open world genre, or you like a challenge. Another good one from the PS Plus collection. Happy Halloween to all of you, and I hope the Scarecrow doesn't ruin it like he did Batman's. Well, at least Batman was already dressed up for the occasion. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween special episode with Batman Arkham Knight. That brings us halfway through the PS Plus collection challenges. I think I might be able to squeak out one more for this year. I'm still thinking what it should be. Maybe Final Fantasy 15 because Forspoken is coming out soon. We'll see. Subscribe to the channel for more of these videos just like this, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween week. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions get ruined by the Scarecrow and his fear toxin, or by Riddler and his damn Riddler Trophies. I don't know how Batman hasn't killed that guy yet. Peace out.